Hey everyone! Sorry I have been so absent from my YouTube channel recently, but I have Rufus constantly attached to me in this sling, so it's quite hard to film. So in the end, I just thought I'll just film with him in the sling. So that's what I'm doing. Today I thought I would film my mum and baby essentials for the first 2 months. I've tried quite a lot of products in the first 2 months, and these are the things that I've been reaching for the most, and the things that I found the most useful, and the things that I would recommend to anybody. So I'm just going to get started because I feel like this one's going to wake up soon. And I guess I'll start with the most obvious thing is the Ergo baby carrier. And I actually have 2 baby carriers, this one and a mountain buggy one. He is one of those babies that likes to be very close to me all the time. So in the daytime, he is constantly in this carrier, he sleeps in it. I don't really take my buggy out very much, and it's just really comfortable, and it means that I can get on with doing other things to a certain extent anyway. And the mountain buggy one that I have, I would also recommend. I don't have it here with me, it's in my car at the moment, but I prefer to use that one for outside of the house because it has like a little flap that goes and does up here, and it kind of just shields the baby from like wind or rain or sun or anything like that. And I find that really useful when I leave the house because he will wake up if it's windy or if it's raining or something. So I find that really useful. I have used this so much, you can probably tell because it has food all down it from where I try and eat over his head, poor little thing. But yeah, I'd probably say this and the mountain buggy carrier are my #1 recommendations. But obviously, when you have a newborn, you don't know straight away if they're going to be that type of baby who wants to be carried in close all the time, because Grayson wasn't. Grayson didn't like the carrier at all. So I'd probably say hold off until buying this until after you've had your baby. I think I'll probably show you guys all of the mum products first now and then go into the baby things afterwards, mainly because they're on the floor and I don't want to like bend down and wake him up. So the first thing I've been using pretty much every day since I had him is this belly band, and I had this with Grayson as well. I didn't use it that much with Grayson. I feel like I needed to use it more with the second baby. It's basically a support band for your stomach. I didn't put it on straight away. I put it on a few days afterwards because after you have a baby, I don't know about anyone else, but both times I've had babies, I have had that kind of feeling in my stomach for a few days after where I stand up and I feel like things are going to come out. So I just like to wear this so I feel supported, and so I feel like it's not so jiggly, if that makes any sense. I know people also wear these to try and like encourage their insides to go like back to the right place and to lose a bit of weight, but mine is mainly just for support. And I also like to wear this when I've got the carrier on, if I know I'm going to be doing a long walk, if I'm doing a nursery drop off or collection and I've got him in the sling. I just like to put this on so that it supports that core bit of my body, especially because he tore my stomach muscles apart. This video is really glamorous, but yeah, I found this particularly useful after my second baby, so I would definitely recommend that to any mums who are on their second or third. Next up, I'm going to talk about a few products that helped me establish with breastfeeding, and just things that I have found really useful, particularly things that I found useful in the first week, which I found the toughest. I will make a video probably particularly on breastfeeding. I like my breastfeeding story at some point. I just haven't had the time yet. But yeah, prepare yourself. I'm about to talk about boobs quite a lot. So the first thing is a bra. This one looks a bit gross because I wore it throughout my whole pregnancy and then after I had him as well. It was the least ugly breastfeeding, like nursing, non-wired bra that I could find, and it's from Jojo Mama and Baby, and it looks like this. I cannot believe I'm at a point in my life where I'm showing my underwear on YouTube, but I lived in this. I still live in these. I've got so many of them now. They are so comfortable and so practical, and they don't make you feel horrible when you wear them because they've got this, like, this one isn't a new one, it actually does look quite horrible, but they've got this little lace bit over the top, so you just feel like you're wearing a normal bra. You don't feel like it's an ugly like mum bra. And then it clips open like that, so that you can obviously feed your baby easily. And the thing that I really like about this bra is that it's got this extra bit of material which covers the top bit of your boob, so if you're feeding in public, then you don't feel like massively exposed. I'm not one of those mums who can faff around covering up with a scarf. I'm not going to do that. It just makes me stressed. It makes me hot. It makes my baby hot. So I just whip him straight on. But this is good for that because it's obviously like gives you a bit more dignity as such, I guess. And these, I think they're about £16 or something, but I would absolutely recommend it. And I feel like I'm going to be living in them until I stop breastfeeding because they're the best looking nursing bras that I could find. If anyone has any other recommendations, please do let me know because I would love to vary it a little bit. I feel like I've been living in a black lace bra for like just over a year now. The next things are these Multimam, I think they're called Compression. I've somehow managed to buy the German brand because I got them on Amazon. So my friend Kitty told me about these. She had a baby the day after me and she recommended these to me. And they're basically, I'll open this one up so you can see. When you first start breastfeeding and your like nipple isn't used to being sucked all the time, it can be really painful and it can go quite dry and like basically your boob is like just getting used to it. So these, I actually cut them in half. It's kind of like a gel cold compress, like moisturizer thingy. And if you cut it in half and just put them in your bra, like over your nipple, it is like heaven. That first couple of weeks of breastfeeding, these helped me so much. And I probably would go as far as saying that if Kitty hadn't recommended me these, then I may have given up with the breastfeeding because it was like my boobs felt like they were on fire and this really helped. And you can just get these on Amazon. I think they're fairly cheap. I've still got loads left. You don't really need to use a lot, but they just really helped me. And another nipple orientated product that I couldn't have lived without was this nipple cream. It's called Pure Lan and it's by Medela, the people that do the breast pump. It's basically like lanolin cream, but like a different brand of lanolin cream. And I religiously put this on after every feed for like the first 2 weeks. And I don't think I could have survived again without this. So I would 100% say if you're planning on breastfeeding or trying to breastfeed, then make sure you have some of this. I think there's obviously other brands that do it as well, but I really liked this. You can get it again on Amazon. Self-explanatory nipple cream. I feel like I need to breathe. I'm trying to film this whole video before Ruth wakes up. Okay, the next thing is dirty because I've used it and I did not have time to clean it before I filmed this. I have a window for filming and I was like, gotta do it now. So it is a breast pump. It's an electric breast pump by Medela. It's actually a double pump. I just don't have the other part of the pump attached. Pretty self-explanatory, but again, I feel like this helped me out in my first couple of weeks of breastfeeding. When my boobs were sore and I needed a bit of a break, I would just express my milk into here and then he could still have my breast milk from a bottle. Again, I feel like if I hadn't have had this, then I potentially wouldn't have had such a good experience breastfeeding. Also, it's really handy for when I want or need to go out and I need Steph or somebody else to feed him. I can just pump my milk into here. It's probably the breast pump. It's the best breast pump I've tried. I've only tried a couple. With Grayson, I used a handheld one. And now I've got this. I'm like, why would I ever have done that? Why would I have done that? You could probably hear this guy snoring, right? But yeah, anyway, it is a little bit expensive, but it is 100% worth it if you want your baby to get your breast milk. You can get a single pump as well. I don't think I've actually done both boobs at the same time, but yeah, breast pump. So that's it for my like mum recommendations. Oh, also I guess like baggy clothing, just so that you can always get your baby to your boob easily. Next up, I'm going to talk about my favourite newborn products, and the first thing is a sleeping bag. I never used them with Grayson. This is actually one of Grayson's old ones that we used probably about twice, but Rufus absolutely loves them, and obviously it's getting colder at night time now, and I just find it gives me more of a peace of mind because I don't have to tuck him into like underneath the blankets or anything. You just zip him into here and he's nice and snug. This one's actually really gross now, but you can get like different togs and things for different seasons, so you can still use them in the summer, but they're obviously just less hot. Okay, next up is a super practical item, and it is this Angel bath support. Again, I got this on Amazon. I just find this much more practical than using a big plastic baby bath. I do have one of those as well, but I quickly switched over to this just because I feel like he's comfier in this. It's got like a rubber base, And because there's holes in it, the water goes underneath, so I know he's really warm, and he just loves this. Like, he's so happy when he's in this. He kicks around and he just loves the bath. But this also means that I can bath both the boys together, so instead of having to do separate baths, they can just both go in together, which is so much easier and saves so much time at like the bedtime routine. At first I was a little bit nervous about doing that because obviously there's quite a big age gap between them, and I didn't know how Grayson was going to be with a baby in the bath, but he's been really good, really gentle. We just keep it really calm in the bath now. And yeah, this is just, it's so practical because you can just lift it straight out and it tucks away behind the bath instead of a big plastic baby bath, which just takes up loads of room. So I definitely recommend this. Next is an item that I bought before he was born, and when I bought it I was thinking that was probably a waste of money, but I just wanted it because it was really cute. And actually we've ended up using it so much. We use it multiple times every day. It is this really soft, snuggly, I guess it's a play mat, but we just put it on our sofa so that when we're sitting on the sofa, if we don't want to be holding Rufus, then we just pop him on this. It's really snuggly and soft, and he also does some tummy time on this. And Grayson also likes to snuggle up on this as well. He uses this as a pillow if he's watching a movie. So yeah, it actually ended up being one of my most used items, but because it was a bit of an impulse buy, which I don't normally do, I was a bit worried that we weren't going to end up using it, but thankfully we have used it a lot, and I would definitely recommend it just because it's just so comfortable for them, and it's actually it's not ugly either. Some like play mats and like tummy time mats are really ugly, but this one isn't. Next item I guess is like a breastfeeding item again. It is this feeding cushion. This one is from John Lewis, also needs a wash. I'm not sure whose snot is on that one. I didn't even think about buying one of these this time. I don't know why, it just didn't cross my mind until a midwife came in to do one of their checks after Rufus was born. And she was watching me feed, and she was like, oh, if you put his body like flat to your body and put a cushion underneath you, it's much more comfortable, it's easier for them to latch, yada yada yada. So I went and bought a feeding pillow, and it literally made everything so much easier than having to like forage around for cushions all the time in different rooms and stuff. I just carry this to wherever it is I'm going to be feeding him, and it's really comfortable. He can also use it as a little pillow now for himself, so his head goes there and then he's sort of like supported in it, and it's comfortable. Needs a wash, but I feel like it's going to get a lot more use out of it. And if you are planning on breastfeeding, it's definitely a good buy. And even if you're not, it's just a good place to pop them. Like if you need to put them down for a minute and you need somewhere to put them, this is a nice comfy place for them to sit. I think I'm on to my last thing now. It's quite a big thing. Hang on, I'm gonna have to move this. Okay. It's so hard to film a video with a baby in a sling. It is this massive Baby Bjorn bouncer. And I bought this little, like, I don't even know what this is called, like a play, like mobile thing to clip onto it. I got this from Amazon as well. And that was probably the best thing that I bought for his age at the moment, is because he's just really starting to enjoy mobiles and like colourful toys, and like he can sit in this for ages and just play with these, which is saying something because he is a very clingy baby and he loves to be in here more than anything in the world. So if I ever want to have like a shower, or I need to make Grayson a sandwich or something, anything like that, I can just pop him in here and I know he's going to be happy for a few minutes. And it's just like a really comfy bouncer for him, and yeah, pretty self-explanatory really. We've had other bouncers before, but this is my favourite, mainly because of the mobile. Oh my god, this snoring situation is out of control, it's so loud. Anyway, I think that's everything now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you found it useful in some way. There's so many like new mum and baby products on the market that I thought it might help some of you who are trying to make decisions, especially because it's my second baby now. I feel like I'm a little bit more experienced than I was maybe the first time. Well, I hope that I am. So yeah, I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!